back to the Red Devil Circle. Just quickly, there's been a lot of noise around Manchester United, and this one really stood out today, and I wanted to talk about it, as a community and dissect this issue. Ben Jacobs coming out with an update here saying that Casemiro and the manager Eric Ten Hag will be holding talks with Casemiro considering his recent form. So I'm just going to read it. I'm going to read it as as it is said, as it has been documented, or straight from the horse's mouth, if you like. So this is Ben Jacobs. He is very well liked at the club, but if you ask him to fulfill a new role, change something, or train a different way, we're talking about Casemiro here. If you ask him to fulfill a new role, change something, or train a different way, there will still be some pushback. That's not because there is necessarily tension or friction, but just because that's how established elite level players work. They've had success all their lives while often doing things one way, and Casemiro spent so long at Real Madrid that he is probably not going to dramatically change. I think what Ten Hag will do, as I understand it, is hold some one-on-one talks with Casemiro to understand what's happening this season and find a solution. That solution, after the international break, may involve a few more minutes for Scott McTominay. Isn't that just ridiculous? Like, just hearing that. So what is the criteria? What makes McTominay the ideal candidate for the job all of a sudden? You have to go back to last season and really see what Casemiro has done for Manchester United. His impact for Manchester United last season was gravely underrated. Even the fact that we gave Rashford we gave him the award as the best player for the season in Manchester United, it just undermined what Casemiro has done throughout the season last season. And if I'm not wrong, he's also the highest scorer this season, and he's having to do a lot more than he did last season, just because the team is not clicking and the manager's making all the wrong decisions. And now we're hearing that he's going to hold talks with Casemiro. That's very damning for the manager. The fact that he's pretty much trying to throw Casemiro under the bus just to save his job. That's if what Ben Jacobs is coming out with is true. But he's Ben Jacobs is a credible journalist. He knows a lot of things around the club. He gets first-hand information from the club. So every noise around the club, this is the man that you think comes out with the truth surrounding Manchester United. So he wouldn't put out some bullshit story. But then again, if the manager is going to hold talks with Casemiro, considering his form this season, it just shows you how clueless this manager is. I'm sorry, he's absolutely ridiculous. He's looking for the next guy to throw under the bus, knowing fully well that he's under pressure and his team is not playing well. They're not playing the type of football he was brought here to play, and he's trying to throw Casemiro under the bus. It's ridiculous. And the fact that Scott McTominay came in, you're gonna tell me that Scott McTominay is gonna come in and do what Casemiro does? Casemiro has been let to run the midfield by himself a lot of times this season, a lot of times. And even though his performance wasn't so great against Brentford, where Scott came in and scored 2 goals, it didn't it doesn't hide the fact that in general the whole team was playing like shit. Even bringing on Eriksen didn't change much. Scott McTominay scoring 2 last-minute goals just papers over the cracks. It doesn't show that he's a better player than Casemiro. It's so insulting, saying stuff like that, comparing McTominay and Casemiro. It's so insulting. It was just like last season where you compare the Manchester United fans were comparing Martial to Cristiano Ronaldo, saying Martial is a better player and offers more. Like, oh God, the Manchester United fans are ridiculous, guys. You all are ridiculous. I'm sorry. It's ridiculous. And look how long that lasted. When we said when you all were saying Martial was better than Cristiano Ronaldo, that didn't last so long. And he got injured. And even when he came back, he was struggling with his form. It's crazy the kind of fans we have on the kind of fan base we have. It's ridiculous. They quickly forget what you've done. Like look at what Casemiro did for us last season. No, he was being compared to Thomas Partey. Thomas Partey, one of the best midfielders in Europe. Like he was in that talks, and that was just his first season. And this season, the managers made so many changes and so many drastic changes and so many wrong decisions, which I think Onana is one of those wrong decisions. Bringing in Mount and giving him the number 7 shirt. So many. What's going on in this club right now? It's just the fact that we've accrued so many bad decisions, and that's hurting us. And it's showing in the club right now. And whoever's telling you we have dressing room unity is lying to you. There's something going on in that dressing room. And seeing Casemiro mad after he got subbed off is probably not just the only reason he was mad. And I'm telling you, there's something going wrong in that dressing room. Because Casemiro is not one to hide his emotions. You can tell when he's happy and he's buzzing. He doesn't hide it. If Casemiro is happy, everyone in the world knows. And after that game, McTominay scored 2 goals in the last minutes of the game. He didn't look happy at all. He didn't look happy alongside Rashford. And Rashford has been playing bad. But Casemiro has a reason to be mad. He's been the one that's been there for us the whole time. He's taken a lot of responsibilities, even without the captain armband. He's been let to play alone in that midfield role while the manager tries to figure out his shit because he doesn't know how to pick the right team. He doesn't know how to pick the right midfield, and Casemiro has had to suffer for that. And now we have stuff like this coming out from Ben Jacobs that saying that Ten Hag is going to hold talk to Casemiro considering his form over the past games. God, it's just they're just looking for the next person to throw under the bus. That's horrible management. Whatever, if this is coming from the manager or from the club, they just threw Casemiro under the bus. You want to hold talks to Casemiro for his form when you can't even fucking pick a team to play a simple football game against Brentford, against basic ass teams in the Premier League, and you want to put Casemiro under the bus. Let me just pull out the stats that came out with that Ben Jacobs update. So tackles per game, he's first in the score, 2.6 tackles per game. Aerial duels won, he has 1.6, and he's second in the squad. Obviously, he's played a lot of games in the midfield where he's been allowed to be run through. He's playing by his own, and he also has to create. He's doing a lot more than he had to do in Real Madrid. In Real Madrid, he just had to break the lines. He wasn't going forward a lot, and he'll take some shots every now and then and follow his passes. But he didn't. No matter what anyone tells you, I watched Real Madrid when they won the Champions League thrice, right? Casemiro just had to break the plays. Modric and Toni Kroos are the creative ones. It's fact. Casemiro didn't have to create a lot. You have two smarter players there in Kroos and Modric, world class players. Casemiro is also world class, but he didn't have to he didn't have to do as much as he's doing right now in Manchester United. He's creating, he's breaking the plays, he's running around on his own in midfield. He's been left isolated in the Manchester United midfield. It's just ridiculous chaos, and all this chaos is created from one person only, the manager, because he's clueless. He doesn't know what he's doing. He's trying to do with his team, and now after throwing Ronaldo under the bus, throwing David De Gea under the bus, throwing Sancho under the bus, who's the next big target? Casemiro. Let's throw Casemiro under the bus just because Scott McTominay came in and scored 2 goals in the last minute. How long is this gonna last? Not very long. You throw McTominay under there. You throw McTominay into that midfield. It's gonna be worse. It's gonna be worse, and that's not fair to Scott McTominay. With this story coming out right now, maybe McTominay gets more minutes, but who's gonna get hurt? Scott McTominay. You throw him under the bus, just cause he came in and scored 2 goals. He came in and did what a squad player would do, and just cause he loves the badge, he loves the club, and he came in and tried to do something, and he did something crazy. Let's put it that way. And that's not always gonna happen. And because of that fact, you want to throw Scott McTominay in the midfield. It's not fair to him. He won't be able to handle the pressure. He won't be able to play as well as he can't do what Casemiro is doing for this team. And the manager hasn't found the right balance in the team. He has most of his best players on the bench, making stupid decisions after stupid decisions being accrued. It's a disaster. It's a disaster. And Casemiro having to commit so many fouls, just 1.4 fouls per game. That's because he's been hung out to dry in the midfield. He's been isolated most of the time, and he just gets run through all the time. And now we're throwing Casemiro under the bus. After Ronaldo, David De Gea, Sancho, who's next is what my question would be for you guys right now. Let me know in the comments, because I'm so done with the way this manager has been treating players, with decisions he's been making. It's just pathetic. It's clear that he's lost the dressing room to me. It's so clear. I mean, Casemiro and Rashford's reaction is enough, but then you can also look at what Eriksen is coming out with on international break in the press conference. Harry Maguire, a lot of players not happy with the way the manager is handling things, and a lot of those things wouldn't come out if it was just a few players that run out of favor with the manager because they're not playing well. This is just people questioning what he's doing right now, and a lot of players coming out and speaking openly. Obviously, they're not saying it as Erik Ten Hag is not making the right decisions, but they're saying it in a way. I mean, Eriksen coming out and saying that the manager is not picking him just because of the formation that he's trying to play, and we don't have enough defensive cover. He's just beating around the bush, trying to tell you that he doesn't know why the fuck this manager is not picking him. As simple as that. And he's throwing Bruno on the right midfield. It's just chaos. There's a lot of players not on this manager's side right now. And after throwing Casemiro under the bus, Scott McTominay is going to come into the midfield, which it looks likely to happen now. Who's going to be next? Who's going to be the next big thing to throw under the bus just to save this manager's ass? Let me know, guys, in the comments. I'm just tired of this whole bullshit with the manager. Um, this talks about this talks like 2 hours ago about Jim Ratcliffe being favorite since the Glazers want to hold a stake in the club, so they're not willing to sell 100% of the club. That's also a disaster waiting to happen because we need someone who's gonna come spend some money to fix the infrastructure, to fix all the mess going on in this club right now, and it needs a lot of money to solve the big deep mess we're in right now. So there's a lot of problems to talk about. I'm guessing there'll be something new to talk about tomorrow. There's always something surrounding Manchester United, and it's always negative right now. And the manager is also one of the big reasons we're having a lot of negatives right now, because he doesn't know how to coach a team properly. He doesn't know his right players. I mean, having Donny on the bench is stupid. It's a stupid decision. I know he hasn't played a lot of games for so long, but if you want to play a possession-based team, if you want to be a possession-based team, you need to play the right players, the players that can carry the ball properly, and you need to play players in their right positions. And Bruno on the right is not going to do it. Amrabat on the left on left back row is not going to do it. Allowing Casemiro to play alone in that midfield is not going to do it. So he needs to fix up, or he's going to get himself a sack soon enough. Because who else are you going to throw under the bus? You're holding private meetings with all these players. You're going to have a private meeting with the whole 11 before we realize that this manager is just full of shit. Anyway, thank you guys for watching. I'll see you guys on the next one. Hope you enjoyed the video. Drop a like, subscribe below. Let's get to 40 subscribers at least by the end of this month. Thank you guys for watching.